Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Racing Insiders podcast. We're trying out some different equipment today, so let us know if you can hear us. That would be great. Kind of tested this out, and I hope it works.
We'll see.
Yes. The microphone went out. We broke the cable. Yeah, but if that's the worst that happened over the weekend, of course, at the Cars Racing Show, we had a great time. And we'll probably talk about that a whole lot more.
Yep.
So we see some folks pop on. If you could let us know if you can hear us, that would be really, really great. Because I wanted to be more prepared and have like headphones with me, and so I could monitor the sound.
Then we'd look like dorks sitting with headphones on. Of course, you got your hoodie on, so
yeah.
Are you a little chilly?
Well, I don't know. I'm just going. This is my look today. I'm going with it. Yeah, stocking hat on and my hoodie on, and I've been.
You mean a toboggan?
No, I do not.
You got the
Quit
You got the toboggan.
Quit it! Do not mess with.
Isn't that what they call it around here?
Well, I don't care. I mean, I have like a hat on. I have a hat on, and all right. So I see Scott is here. He says hi from California. San Lorenzo River area taking a hit from the storms.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. One of my best friends, he's actually here from California, sitting in the background as we speak. And he actually owns the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk and has been getting constant updates about how bad shit's going on. So,
well, usually I set up the Steve cam. I should have set up the Tom cam.
Yeah, we should have set up the Tom cam. We can just flash to him.
No, that's okay.
He says, no, that's okay. So hopefully you guys can hear us. And Paul says, hello from Soggy, California.
Yeah. Nah, you guys are getting like ass hammered out there.
Yeah. Wow. I wouldn't have gone that far, but it's that is the whole be careful what you wish for. Well, I learned a long time ago. Oh, Dave Hammond is here from Hammond Motorsports. He says hello from sunny Iowa.
Sunny Iowa.
Yes.
All right.
Where he says it's always 70 degrees inside.
Nice. That's true.
Yeah. he was trying to steal all three of us to take us back to Iowa. Me and Tori and Danielle.
Stealing all the women. That's Dave.
He was trying. We didn't go for it. We're sticking our feet in the mud right here in North Carolina for sure. But it was so awesome to see Dave this weekend and all of the cool innovations that are going on with Hammond Motorsports. He's got this cool setup where instead of like a pull down rig that it lifts the car in different areas so that you can really see what your car is doing dynamically. Yep. And then with the setup plates on there, it's just really incredible.
As much as I hate to say it, Dave is an innovator, and he's a badass.
He really is.
I can't not give Dave props. He's a cool ass dude who hates China just like I do. And he's awesome.
Yeah. And he says, there's no red mud up there. Yeah. That black dirt we haven't had in Iowa. Of course, I grew up there.
Don't they got baby shit brown stuff there too, right?
Or is it's mostly black.
Okay.
Yeah. Mostly black.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in Iowa. So, maybe going up to Minnesota, there might be some places with just like regular brown dirt. Mm. But for the most part, I mean, all of the fields, especially, it's all that black dirt. I see Jason Alexander is here. He says, good seeing you guys at the show and getting to talk with Steve in person.
Yeah, for sure.
Jason, of course, is local to our area. He's in, I believe, in Shelby, North Carolina, racing, and a great customer of ours. So, thanks for coming to the show, Jason. And that show, I had so much fun this year. I really did.
I did too.
What was your favorite part? Drinking?
Probably.
I mean,
no.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I thought it was awesome. I mean, day one, it was probably day one this year was better than day one last year. It was still much slower than Saturday. That place was freaking packed out.
Yeah, there was times when it was elbow to elbow, which was great. Great to see.
Reminds you of larger trade shows.
Yeah. But I think that's the special thing about the Cars Racing Show is just the fact that you get a chance to actually have a conversation with people.
Absolutely.
And you just don't feel as rushed like you do.
No, and you can actually buy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think plenty of stuff was sold at that show. So.
There was a lot of money that changed hands. There was much.
That's always a good thing. And that's kind of the goal.
And we've gotten some feedback. I'm not going to really call out names, but I know that there were several chassis sold
Nice.
Also
I like
at the
it.
show. One thing, I think that was something that really set our show apart. And for anybody who doesn't know, I am one of the organizers. It's me and my brother, Jimmy Schiltz, that organized that show. But it was really cool to pull all of those chassis builders together. You know, if you were shopping for a dirt late model chassis or for a street stock chassis,
or even an asphalt chassis, there was asphalt
true,
chassis in there too.
Yeah. You know, there's no other place where you're going to see that many all together. No. So you can really, you know, go look at this part on this chassis over here, and then you look at the same thing on this other chassis. Correct. And you know, and you can talk to the guys, make your own determination. But yeah, we had a laser chassis. You know, even Jim Bernheisel came down from Pennsylvania. We had double nickel with Benji Hicks, and we had Warrior and Longhorn. So there's 4 dirt late model chassis manufacturers in one building.
Absolutely. And
then for street stocks, we had the PV Motorsports with their missile chassis, and we also had Project X. Yeah.
Right. Chad Thrash and that.
Oh man, and it was really fun that I met those guys in the elevator. I mean, of course we've talked, and a really good customer. He's also he also is one of the partners, and you know, knew his name, and you know, we've talked to each other a ton on the phone, but had never met in person. So it was kind of fun to do that.
And you saw, like, you know, kind of some highfalutin race car drivers walking around there too.
I know. I got a little starstruck a little bit, you know. Saw Jimmy Owens.
Yep, Jimmy Owens was there. And
of
course, Freddie Smith was there both days. Just he had a crowd around him the entire time. So I thought that was awesome because Freddie is one of the greatest late model drivers ever to walk the face of the earth.
Well, and we had the opportunity to have his car on display in the show, which was so cool. The show cars were so fun to see.
They were.
We really tried to go above and beyond. We sent out a survey last year, and you know, just to get the feedback and comments, and people were like, man, there wasn't enough cars to see. Right. So we made sure that there was no way you could look in any direction without seeing a race car somewhere. Right. Lots of shiny things.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. I see Scott is here. He says, Happy New Year, my fine North Carolina folks. Yep. And hey, if you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them into the comments. We are always happy to answer some questions here. Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
Or not, and then I can go watch the college football championship.
Well,
it doesn't start until 7:30. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, are you playing fantasy college football too?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No. But I did ultimately end up first in one league, second in the other, and third in another league. So first, second, and third. I'll take it. I didn't lose any money. I made money this year playing fantasy.
Wow.
Yep.
There's probably easier ways to make money, but
no, not really, because I don't have to do anything other than like click on a computer.
Are you kidding me? Screen. You play fantasy football like it's a part-time job.
That's true, actually.
For real. Now, one thing that's cool is you and John were talking about, our friend John, about launching a fantasy football podcast next year.
Yeah, me and my friend John and my friend Nick were like talking about like doing a fantasy football podcast next year, because basically any information you give to anybody on fantasy football is total bullshit. So how can you go wrong?
Yeah. And
we could just make it fun. I mean, we could like do the opposite. We could like give bad information, and then like, you know, at least, you know, I don't know, every other week you might be right with your bad information.
You mean just like regular fantasy football commentators?
Yeah, like who to pick up, you know, who to drop, all that shit. Yeah, so
that would be fun.
I think it'd be fun as shit.
I think that the trio of you guys would be really fun.
Well, yeah, because I'm me, and then, you know, Nick Walton, he's gonna be somewhat analytical, but then John's gonna be like total straight laced. No, this is who you have to have. You know?
I think out of that group, I would call you the wild card.
Right.
And wild card Steve.
Right.
All right. So we've got a question here. Chad is here. Yeah. He says, do you recommend a distributor on a 602 dirt late model? If so, front or rear mounted? Thanks.
Distributor.
I think we must be talking about a different kind of drive, and not, I mean, a distributor is a distributor.
Yeah.
It only goes in one spot. Now, you could talk about, I mean, let's just go ahead and expand upon this. Let's talk about whether you would recommend on a 602, would you recommend an HEI distributor? Oh, he meant alternator.
Alternator, yes.
Okay, an alternator.
Okay, on a 602, on 12-volt systems, I almost always recommend running an alternator.
Mm-hmm.
On 16-bolt systems, I don't think it's necessary. That being said, if you're going to run one, I mean, we run ours off the back.
Your alternator?
So, yeah. So, like Alex, my son, he changes between 525, 604, 602, but we have an alternator on the back just for the 525. But, of course, we keep it hooked up for the, when we're running the other two engines. And we run it off the back.
Okay.
So, and that's actually a Jones setup that we run off the back.
Okay. I mean, is there the advantage? Is it just the big advantage for you would be the fact when you're pulling the engine and trading it out?
Well, yeah, for the 525, you absolutely have to run an alternator.
Right.
I mean, there's no option to it. But again, just because we're already running one, we just leave it in there for the 602 and the 604.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a convenience factor. I mean, there's no reason to unhook it. It doesn't cost you any power. So, no, I mean, I'd run it off the back if you got the option. I mean, running off the front, I mean, there's plenty of good setups running off the front. Again, it's not going to cost you any power. So
good to know. Yeah, and you've really gone full circle on that because you were pretty much like not an alternator guy.
Well, again, like I said, I mean, if you're running a 16-volt system,
mm-hmm.
no, I don't see a reason to run one.
Right.
In a 602 or 604.
Mm-hmm.
12-volt system, I'd probably throw one on there if you have to be running like an HEI or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, MSDs fire down to, I think they fire full capacity down to like 8 volts.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't see a reason for it.
There we go. Oh, here we go. We got a long one here from my awesome friend, Wesley Outland. He says, greetings, Kate Dillon and Steve Hendren.
What's up, Spider Monkey?
I hope you all are well. Sorry I missed the party, the Christmas party.
Yeah.
We have a blowout Christmas party here.
You were invited.
Says, hope he says, he knows. He says, sorry I missed it. Hope you're having a good start to the new year and successful third Cars Racing Show for Kate and Jimmy. Hope to have our paths cross again soon. And thank you for promoting Cars on Finish Line last Wednesday. Kate, much love to you all. Nice. It's hashtag Where's Wesley? And he's at home.
Yep.
Yeah, so we started that a long time ago. The Where's Wesley? It's kind of like the Where's Waldo?
Where's Spider Monkey?
Yeah, I even bought him a Waldo costume, and we played that at like PRI.
I'm pretty sure you like the first one to give him the nickname Spider Monkey, though, weren't you?
Oh, I totally was.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah. Yes, and that is his nickname.
Yeah, exactly.
Spider Monkey Wesley Outland.
Exactly.
Yes, and it was crazy. I was so grateful. I mean, thanks for interviewing me on your podcast. I don't know what happened. I know you had tornadoes in your area. I was at the convention center. I didn't have my mobile Wi-Fi hooked up, and we just kept on dropping connection with what we were doing. So I called in a few times, and I really appreciate you getting the word out, and that helped. So
for sure.
Yeah, and the show continues to grow every single year. Now, were there some new products that you saw that you really liked at the show?
Yeah, there was quite a few. I mean, nothing nothing I can name. I mean, my recommendation is go to the show if you want to see new shit. So.
Wow.
No, I mean, literally.
But you got a new one right there that just dropped out of my bag.
What? Oh.
That's a new one.
That's a new product, but I don't think it's live yet.
Oh, he's already has a video out. Yeah. He may not be able to buy it, but it's really just going to be an engine builders kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's a video on his YouTube channel.
So he made it live, not private?
No, it's live.
Okay.
I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, what he showed me was private at the time.
Oh.
So I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
But no, I mean, Bucket, Daytona 1 has got a graphene defrictionator deal that's going on. And the stuff that he's talked to me about with this and everything else is like groundbreaking, revolutionary stuff. Mm-hmm. And neither him, who is literally a NASA rocket scientist, or not a rocket scientist, but a NASA scientist.
NASA Technology Hall of Famer.
Yes, correct. Neither him or anyone else actually knows the capabilities of this stuff yet. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be, he said in the next 5 years, this will take over everything to do with lubricants.
Wow. Yeah, it's like a super lube.
And plastics.
Oh,
and everything else. So he said the capabilities of this product is beyond anything he's seen in all his years of being involved in this.
Very, very excited, for sure. All right. So Scott has a question. He says, please explain how someone can set up traction control. He's asking for a friend.
Yeah. Contact Davis.
Yeah, Shannon Davis
Davis.
Davis Technologies.
And he can explain it far better than I can. I can tell you back, gosh.
I haven't talked to Shannon in forever.
I haven't either. But back in the super late model days, yeah, I ran some of his stuff because everybody was doing it.
Right. If you don't tech it, it's not a rule.
If you don't tech it, it's not a rule. Exactly. So yeah, I ran some of his stuff back in the day, and it does work. Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah. So really our recommendation would be to call Shannon Davis from Davis Technologies. Correct. Yep. And yeah, we just don't really have a lot of that information.
Yeah. I mean, I can just tell you that I know how it works. I've used it. Are there other options out there now? I'm sure there is. But I mean, Shannon's always been on top of all this stuff.
He's got a great personality. And again, I haven't seen him for years. I need to make sure he knows about the show for next year. Maybe it'd be fun to have him there. And I see Paul is here. He says, Steve, on a 602 or a 604 running a 1-inch carburetor spacer, recommend, or is it beneficial, or should you run a 1-inch carb spacer? Do you recommend that or no spacer at all? Mind you, we are IMCA and have to run a Speedway Motors plastic spec spacer and can't run anything else. Yeah, that's a 1-inch open carb spacer.
Yeah, I'd run it for sure on both applications.
Okay, good.
I mean, there's only certain scenarios, like 602, I'd definitely run it. 604, I've seen some asphalt scenarios where, I think it's probably beneficial not to run one, but those are like on just really weird tracks. So
good to know. And Neil McPhillips is here. He says, I'm here. Yes. From Hooker Harness. We had lots of fun.
Me and Neil the other night riding around town trying to find booze.
Wow. This is my surprise face.
I know, exactly.
Came back and I know he made me a concoction. My Hooker Harness cup. It was awesome. Right. Loved it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was lots of parties in the lobby at the Hampton Inn.
Yeah, we had lobby beers and lobby liquor and lobby pizzas and lobby everything.
I mostly had lobby breakfast and I left most of the drinking to you. I had too much work to do and I had to get up too early.
Hey, leave it to the pros.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh, and Hunter Weaver is here. He says, hey, Kate and Steve. Of course, they had a Blue Ridge Outlaws. They had an awesome booth at the show. Well, of course, your son's car was in their booth.
Alex was in there.
Mm-hmm. It was good. Yep. And, and I think, I think, positive feedback. I really haven't heard anything negative. Have you about the show?
From the show? No, not at all. Other than like a few vendors maybe clocking out a little bit early, but
yeah. And then I got on the microphone in my
that problem.
Yeah, I got on the microphone with my stern voice, and apparently that put it to an end.
Okay.
So, and then my brother went and closed the garage doors.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not talking like 2 hours early.
We're talking like 15 minutes
30 minutes early.
But we still had people that were, really there and still engaged. Yeah. And we want to, provide a show to the very end.
Half an hour after the show was closed, there were still people, engaging in your booth.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Get those last minute, hey, you don't want to load that up, do you?
Right, exactly. Yep, correct.
And the funny thing is I always come back with just as much as I go there with. But that's because I have so many exhibitors that meet me with product and then I take it home with me. Yeah. So I sell a bunch and then I come home with a bunch.
You
save on shipping.
You brought home like an asslet of Daytona 1 and 3 dirt car lifts.
I did. And I sold a bunch of wheels. So yeah, I sold a bunch of wheels, but I came home with like this whole shipment of headers.
Yeah.
What do I have? Like 8 or 10 sets of headers. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's always a good thing. Yes. and yeah, and Tori's like, yes, she does.
Poor Tori.
I know.
Poor evil assistant Tori.
I know. Everybody's so sore. Yeah. Me and Danielle and Tori. Yeah. I mean, it's no slouching thing to have a 20-foot U-Haul truck filled with stuff. Yep. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I think we lost one person who says, oh, Tori's not evil. So I lost one fan of evil assistant Tori, but I picked up like 3.
I thought you weren't going to call her evil anymore.
No, she's evil. Evil assistant Tori.
Oh, no, it's Dave that's not going to call her evil
that's
anymore.
Dave. Yeah, so I lost Dave, but I picked up like 2 or 3 more.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Because I'm a dick.
Well, yeah, okay. All right. Well, they answered that questions. All right. We got some more. Jeff says Antioch. I'm not sure where he's going with that.
Oh, Antioch, California.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, okay. He's here from Antioch.
Yep.
That's awesome. Great. And Dan's here. He says, Happy New Year. Any difference between the Wilds headers and the profab headers on a 604?
Yes. The Wilds, while being a good header, without the anti-reversion stuff that we're running on the profabs are definitely better.
Cool. All right. Jason says, you got any more black beadlocks in stock? I do. Yeah, we just counted today.
You got like an ass ton at the shop too. I don't know if they're black.
They're not black.
Okay.
No, that's a whole nother story.
Okay. Well, I know the story, but I'm not going to publicize it.
Yeah, but I have we just counted today to make sure that we and I'll be ordering some more, but we just counted. We have some at the store. I didn't load up all the wheels we have. I just loaded up some of them to come down to the show. But yeah, Jason, I know you're semi-local if you want to come up and in fact, our website, I think Tori updated it to show all of our current stock of all of our Kaiser wheels.
Now, are the ones at the shop black?
No.
Okay.
That would be 16 polished inner beadlocks.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So if you're in deep need of inner beadlocks, I have cornered the market on inner beadlocks.
Yeah, you got like an ass ton.
I know. 16 is all. It's supposed to be 16. That's
an ass ton to me. So.
I don't know. I'm about to order 40 more wheels.
Okay.
I need to order lots more wheels. All right. And Dave's here. He says, Tori isn't evil. And Tori says, you did. Thank you, Dave Hammond.
God damn it.
Yeah, he says, and she says, at least you're honest. And Dave says, see, if I'm nice to her, she may move up north.
There's a motive behind this. Like,
I don't know a dude that doesn't have a motive, right? Yeah, we all do. All right. Here's a great question, Steve. Yeah. I just saw the first part. Devin is here and he says, hey, Steve, could you explain the anti-reversion mufflers a little bit? And if you think they would benefit over an open header on a 602 asphalt modified?
I think they benefit on anything you put them on, honestly. So what it comes down to is on any exhaust system, you have reversion. So in other words, like as the piston's going up and down and you're, expelling exhaust and it comes back down, there's a certain amount of exhaust that gets sucked back in the cylinder, which contaminates the next charge. So the anti-reversion side of things is it prevents that charge from getting sucked back up into the combustion chamber. So what that does is makes the next charge clean, which ultimately produces more torque, a little bit more horsepower. So that's the advantage to it. What's the other part of it?
Do you think it would be beneficial over an open header on a 602 asphalt modified?
Well, I mean, open header. I mean, that's what it goes with. So it's a muffler chamber. It has no muffling capabilities whatsoever. None.
So if you have sound rules or decibel rules, this isn't going to help you.
No, you would have to run a muffler after that.
Yeah, we just call it a muffler because it's at the end of the system.
It's the simplest way to describe it. But.
Yeah, because then you can also look up and say, see, you said we could. The rules say we're allowed to run mufflers, and I just bought this, and it says muffler on it.
And again, this is not technology that me or my brother invented. This is actually something that was invented, back in the 70s by my dad's friend, Jim Fueling, at Fueling Industries.
Well, I think the idea for it and actually producing it and testing it, take a little bit of credit here. I mean, anybody.
Well, no, his original thing was they were in the header tubes. So each individual header tube had an anti-reversion chamber. Our deal is in the one single piece in the exhaust.
Yeah, I mean, so sure, it's the concept.
That's our.
But deal. I mean, how many times do you hear like, "Oh man, I mean, that's so cool. I mean, I had that idea like 10 years ago." But ideas do nothing if you don't do something with them.
No, exactly.
You guys did something with it.
Well,
you took it to that next level and implemented it in a way that would be easy to install.
And Jim actually did have a patent back in the day on the individual header tube deal, which he called diodes. Which I would still like to go back and explore that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's that in conjunction with the muffler. If I can get anybody to actually build a set of headers that way, I think it'd be freaking badass.
One thing at a time. All right. And William Siri says a rumor around our track is that 604 stainless profab headers and a billet E85 stealth carb gains horsepower and torque. Any truth to this? And if so, how much?
That would be 100% true. But gain over what?
Yeah.
Would be the question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, E85 on its own is going to gain you quite a bit of torque. The profab headers, everything I've tested anywhere or out of everything is going to, increase the torque more than anything else I've tested.
Yeah.
So it's like versus what?
Yeah. Cool. And Tori responded that yes, the website is updated with our current wheel count.
Cool.
Other than the ones that are at your shop. I won't count them until
right.
they, I see the whites of their eyes kind of thing. Dave says, thank you for a great show. See you in a couple weeks. Of course, I'll be going to Iowa and I know it exists, believe it or not. I'll be going to Iowa for the IMCA stock car race logic chassis school. And then at the end of the month, so 2 weeks from now, then you and I will be going up to Pennsylvania.
So the Iowa one's first?
Iowa one's first.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Okay.
So
it was after.
No, I'll be going up to Iowa. And then a week after that, going to Pennsylvania for the Crate Late Model class.
Yeah, I'll be up there for that.
Yeah, and I think there's still some seats available for the Crate Late Model class, and you can find those at racelogic.vip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looking for the knowledge. Yep. All right, here's a question for you, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Joe asks, carburetor builder of choice on a 602 in a modified. I know what your next question is.
What?
What kind of fuel are you running?
No, it's going to be for what series?
Right, 602 in a modified. Is this a dirt modified? Is this an IMCA modified?
Yeah, because can you run a billet center section carburetor? Does it have to be a HP center section?
Right, 2-barrel or 4-barrel. Like what are the options that are available?
And what fuel, obviously.
Oh, okay. See, yeah, I had part of that, right?
You had part of it.
Yeah. He says it's a Mid-East modified.
I'm partial to my brother.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be my first choice. There's plenty of other dudes out there that make great billet center section carburetors. But again, I'd talk to my brother, honestly, depending on the fuel.
And for fuel, he's looking for either a VP 110 or the base R1.
Yeah. Now, why would you run that? I'd be on E85. So.
Yeah. I don't know the Mid-East modified 602
rules.
Yeah,
you can be on E85.
Oh.
I'd be on E85.
Yeah.
So, if you're looking for
best horsepower,
the most amount of horsepower and or at least torque you can produce, I'd be on E85. And then it's also quite a bit cheaper than 110 and R1.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
And so your brother's E85 carburetors, for instance, would they work equally well on a 602 or a 604, or does he build them differently?
So the carburetor that we currently have on my son's 525, where he won that Buddy Smith Memorial, that was actually his 604 carburetor, which is 600 billet center section.
Okay.
So that's on a 525. We also build that same exact carburetor identically for the 525, the 604, and the 602.
Oh, nice. Okay. How versatile. That's fantastic.
So if you want to move up at any time or move, I don't say move up. That's
move to a different class.
Move to a different class. If you want to, different motor combination, that same carburetor will work with most anything crate related wise.
Well, I love that because then you've got those pieces that can grow along with your program.
Correct.
And they can truly be investment pieces because, a carburetor is quite a big expense these days.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much technologically they've gone forward.
Yep.
And how much the prices have gone up, even in the short time.
But there's plenty of great carburetor builders out there. You got Stealth, you've got David Smith, you got Pink, you got Willys, you got there's plenty of great guys out there. It's just who can you have a relationship with that will help walk you through any issues you have and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to point out.
Yep.
Oh, and Joe says his engine builder said to stay away from E85.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your brother and how do we order?
My brother's Mike Hendren. You can call the shop 828-286-0780 and talk directly to him. And if your engine builder said stay away from E85, I would change engine builders.
Yeah. So. Or if you just want to order one, go to CrateInsider.com. I got one on the shelf. Yeah.
So
there's that. And Andrew is here. He says, glad to meet you this weekend. Kate missed meeting Steve. Andrew has been a longtime customer. We've talked a bunch on the phone. He's ordered tons from Crate Insider. So, it's just always a great opportunity to, shake hands and thank our customers, especially when we can see them in person. Yeah. So it was really wonderful to meet you too, Andrew. And
I was like a social butterfly. So sorry I missed you.
Yeah, just butterfly. Butterfly. Looking for squirrels. Yeah. You were all over the place.
Squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah. I think usually by the close of the show, you'd be kind of human again. But for the first part, you'd be a little zombie-like.
Yeah.
Yeah. You really shone in the after hours.
Right. Yeah. From about noon on, I was good to go.
Yeah. Before that, you were a little you're kind of squinty eyed and your face is puffy. Like, oh, I wonder what happened last night.
Yeah. I walk in Saturday morning. My buddy John's there with Danielle. It's Danielle's girlfriend or boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I'll call him.
Danielle is his girlfriend.
Danielle is, yeah. And I walk in and John's like, "You're fucking pale." What'd you? I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling the greatest right now."
Yeah. All right. One more question here. And Joe says, last question. Do you recommend running a return on the fuel line?
Absolutely. I recommend that on everything, regardless of what kind of fuel you're using.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why we sell.
I'm into high pressure and return lines. So high pressure, meaning you're running a high pressure pump, regulating that pressure with a return system.
Yeah. So usually we're running 15 PSI pumps.
Yep. So if you're running a mechanical pump.
I mean, I guess you could be running a tandem pump, which would be different.
Running a belt drive, which would be, that can go way high.
Yeah. Yeah. But it just in a typical scenario.
Right.
And then we'd run the bypass regulator fuel line kit.
Yeah, correct.
Bring that back. All right. One more. I think that's all we got.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Hang on. There's more.
All right.
Okay.
More's good.
Oh, Joe says, and would you recommend the Kevco evap system? Steve doesn't like it, but I have customers who love it.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Reason being I don't like it is none of the seals in your crate engine are designed to pull a vacuum. So essentially you're going to be sucking dirt inside the engine. So I'm not a fan. Now, that being said, if you're like an IMCA country where, you want to run sealed GM motors and you got enough money to buy 5 motors a year, then have at it. Because, it's worth a little bit of power.
All right. Andrew says, I run E85 with the KSE regulator bought from Crate Insider with return lines, and all E85 is the way to go.
Absolutely.
And he says, and I run evap kit, also bought from Crate Insider. Yeah. Like I said, I have a lot of customers who like it. Right. I mean, I definitely haven't anybody come back and go, oh my God,
I mean, if you're racing in the mud all the time, I don't see a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
But, here in the South or most places, where it's dusty all the time, I mean, all you're doing is sucking dirt in the engine.
Mm-hmm. So. Gotcha. Well, I think that's all we have for questions. Any other highlights from the show? What was your favorite part besides drinking?
My favorite part other than drinking. Just talking to customers. I mean, honestly, there's people you see once a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, or you've never met before. So that's always good for me. I enjoyed, me and Brandon Hightower hanging out together, stuff like that. Or just shooting the shit in the booth. I had a good time. I had a good time at the show. It was, of course, I like that whole trade show atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it's not about the drinking to me. It's about the after hours connections you make with people. Because a lot of times, that's where you really hook up and shoot the shit and have a good time and then, just, meet new people, that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I enjoy conventions.
Cool. And Andrew made the comment. He says, awesome parts and exceptional customer service. Thank you. And then here's a question from YouTube, Steve. Mm-hmm. Okay. Bruce is asking, what's your price on a dynoed 604?
All right. So I don't dyno them on an engine dyno because I think it's a total waste of time. What I do is I chassis dyno for all my customers for free. But right now on God, I just priced this today on a brand new 604 that we blueprint out of the box, seal with Crate Racing USA seals. It is, what was it, 90, I think it's 99.32, something like that.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I love that fact, what you guys do on the chassis dyno, and it really uncovers so many issues beyond like what a person would think.
Well, I mean, to be an engine dyno on a 604 is a total waste of time. Yeah, can you break it in? Yeah, you can break it in, but I mean, what are you actually doing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, motor's broke in, go race. Well, you can do that in the first 5 laps you go on the racetrack. So
good to know. All right. Oh, and I guess here's what's the price on a chassis dyno 602 mod?
It's 140 per hour.
Okay.
So odds are, depending on what you're trying to do, you could be on there 1 hour or 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then I prorate it. I mean, it's not like, it's not going to be $280 for 2 hours if we're on there for like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you just kind of make a deal.
Not a big deal.
Yeah. So good to know. Well, I think it's about time to wrap things up.
We can.
And yeah, that's why we don't have a background today, because I took the background to the show, and then I've been unloading a truck and everything. That's why I look like a mover today, because I was unloading the truck and then
you a mover and a shaker.
Yeah. And I want fries with my shake.
I am impressed though that all 3 of you girls got that entire freaking U-Haul unloaded and returned by 10:30.
Yeah, we sure did. And that was after I packed up all the shipments I could pack up before unloading the truck.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And they stacked up over the course of the week while we were gone. But I wanted to pack up as much as we could before we started unloading the truck. And then, there was stuff that I needed from the truck to put into orders. But we busted our tails. I think we all need like a spa day. Yes.
You know what you might want to do? Treat the girls to a spa day. That's not a bad idea.
No, it's just we can't do anything this time of year.
What do you mean?
It's January in the racing business. There's no doing this during the week. I mean, maybe we could do something on the weekend. I was going to say like Saturday or something. Yeah, we could probably do something. That'd be a good idea.
Go get your nails done or whatever. You know?
Yeah, do all those girly things.
Yeah,
do those girl things. Yeah, we'll do that. That sounds like a good idea. We'll have to figure that out.
I'm the idea guy.
Well, yeah, and I'm the executioner.
Exactly.
Because I execute the ideas. All right, well, let's wrap things up. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for being part of this show, the Racing Insiders podcast, where we show up every Monday-ish. Almost every Monday.
It's very consistent.
We've been pretty consistent. Yeah. And we've been doing this on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we look forward to you guys joining us. Yep. Always also, follow us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, wherever you're watching. And you can leave us a review on iTunes, would be really helpful.
Yeah.
For the Racing Insiders podcast. And
not a bad review. Just like
only good ones. 5-star. 5-star. Any last words, Steve?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks, you guys. And we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Bye.